Hey, Ryan.
Hey, hey,
Here we are, season 4 of the No Excuses Coaching Podcast.
season 4.
Exciting. And
Congratulations.
today we're diving into quotes that have struck us with an unexpected force, maybe triggering us, maybe making us angry, maybe making us feel like, ooh, that really hit me right in the heart or in my mind or in my gut.
Quotes that have struck us with an unexpected force. Can I share the alternate title for this
Yeah.
episode? It was like quotes that people hate but are absolutely true. I hadn't heard your title until just now during the recording. What was it?
Well,
That
that's
quotes
not really my
struck us with
title.
a mighty force?
That's not really my title, I wouldn't say.
Oh, you're just talking about what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just talking about what we're talking about.
That was just the way you intuitively described
Yeah.
what the subject matter for this episode. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, quotes that have hit you and you're unexpectedly angry or triggered, or I know you hate the word triggered, but those quotes that hit you and you're just like, I don't know if I like this quote or if I hate it or if this has been like a total slap in the face.
Okay, but we're using the word you as in like the editorial you, meaning the
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
hypothetical person, not me. Because
No,
I
no.
you can hit me with all the quotes you want. I'm fine.
Are you indestructible?
I'm not indestructible, but like I've looked at the list. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over these quotes.
No,
But
but what I'm saying is like,
they
you know,
are points of contention.
yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think these quotes that we're going to talk about make you pause for a second and just be like, did I hear that right? You know,
Yeah.
or do I like this?
You know what I think they all have in common is that if it's troublesome to hear them, then they apply to you.
100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
watch out, audience.
Yeah. They sting a little bit. I
Get
mean,
your
some of them can roll off your
tissues
back,
ready. Some of them, yeah.
but some
Okay.
of them are going to sting a little.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's get into them.
Okay. I got to find them first.
You showed up for this recording without your list of quotes queued up and ready to go.
No, no, I have it ready. I have it
Can I
ready.
just say to the audience that I lost my lip balm sometime between leaving my office yesterday and arriving to my office today? And I hate that.
I hate that too. It's so frustrating. That's why you need multiple lip balms, Ryan.
I
I'm
know.
gonna gift you a 3-pack of lip balms, one for your desk, one for your car, and one for home.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I'll buy like a Costco box of lip balms.
Yeah.
I can't leave one in the car because then it melts during the summer and turns to liquid.
Yeah, that's true. Or just your jacket, but you don't wear a jacket, I
I don't wear
learned.
jackets almost ever, but I could have a backup here at my office.
Yes.
I could have a couple of backups at home, and I have a bag that I bring with me to and from the office, so I can have one in there. I never leave that bag in the car,
Yeah,
um,
perfect.
so I can have one in there.
That
Yeah,
will solve the problem.
yeah. Had I done that, I would be in a better position right now.
Mhm. I too don't have my lip balm. Normally I have it down here at my desk and I left it upstairs.
Shoot.
So we're
Well,
lip balmless for this episode.
in solidarity, you can go without lip balm for the remainder of this recording. All right. Shall we get into these quotes?
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Number first. This is a different variation of the way that I know this quote, but the way we have it on the list is be interested, not interesting. Be interested, not interesting. And I think the theory here is if you are interested, then you are interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily as easy to just choose to be interesting as it is to be highly interested in the people and things around you, which
Yeah.
then makes you interesting.
Totally. Yeah. And I think this is more for when you're meeting with people and like having conversations, you want to be interested in what they're up to and asking them questions, because people like to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you're in conversation with people or out at like a networking thing and you're asking them a bunch of questions and you're interested in what they have to say, then that makes you interesting.
Yeah.
Because then they leave that conversation feeling like they, really benefited from whatever it was you talked about.
Yeah. It's a good tip. It's a good tip.
Yeah. And I would say this one isn't one that kind of hits you like a ton of bricks. It's more of like a nice aha, I would say. Like, oh, yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah.
a nice reminder. Yeah, I should ask people more questions about themselves and just instead of just talking about me all the time. Right.
It's quite palatable. Yeah. This one. We're easing into these
Yeah.
quotes. But it does shift the responsibility for being interesting to the individual. It puts us at cause, right? So
Yeah.
if you feel you're not interesting, ask yourself, am I interested in the people, events, and circumstances around me?
Yeah. It also,
Cool.
yeah, it takes the pressure off too. Right. Because you're not like, oh, I have to be interesting. I've got to come up with all these cool things to say. All you have to do is, well, you taught me this, Ryan. Treat everyone you meet like they're the most important person in the room.
Mhm. That's true. The known as the John Grinder ultimate rapport secret. Just
Yeah,
imagine everybody's the most important person in the world.
that's right. It's
That's
the
what
most
you have
important
to
person in the world.
Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one it starts to get a little bit more abrasive.
This one's spicy.
Yeah, there's this old song. I don't even remember what song it was. Some song that was popular when I was in high school. But one of the lyrics in the song was, "If you're bored, then you're boring."
Mhm.
And the next quote on this list is, "You're not bored, you're boring. You're not bored, you're boring." Which I suppose the interpretation here is, if you report being bored, that is actually a sign that you are yourself boring, as the experiencer of the boredom is the one creating the boredom.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah. This one stings. Like this one for me was a big kick in the butt, like probably about 8 years ago, because I was complaining of being bored. And then I heard this quote, "You're not bored, you're boring." And then that made me kind of step into action and create more for myself.
Yeah.
Right. So like this is kind of like a nice kick in the butt to be like, well, how can I not be bored? What things can I do? How can I create more interests for myself or activities or, you know, stop waiting for everything to come to you, like the editorial you, and just start creating what you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was, as part of some training that I did last year, we had some people come in and teach us about some of the like group dynamics in in-person social situations.
Mm-hmm.
And we got on the topic of like, having fun at parties and cocktail parties and being social in these environments. And the lesson was that it's, if you want to have fun, you need to bring the fun. You
Mm-hmm.
can't rely on somebody else to be the life of the party or to, make the party fun and you get to join in. The only way to guarantee that you're gonna, have fun, whether it's at a cocktail party, a networking event, a bigger conference or bar or a club, the only way to guarantee you're going to have a good time is to bring the good time with you and to be the good time and to
Yeah.
give the gift of that fun to everybody else who's there, right? You have to take responsibility, you have to take onus for creating that energy if you want to experience it, right? Because you
Yeah.
can't you can't rely on other people to do it for you.
So true. And who doesn't want to be that person that's like, oh, so and so is here. Whenever they're here, it's always so fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Be that person.
Boom. You want to be that coach too. That brings
Yeah.
that energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, create the image in your mind that every time someone comes off a call with you, they leave with that impression of increase, right? Bob Proctor talks about that.
Yeah. All right, what's the next
Next
one?
one. So the next one kind of connects back to the first one. And it's this: the world is full of interesting things, but it takes an interesting person to find them.
The world is full of interesting things, but it takes an interesting person to find them. This reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Ooh,
You
a
know,
movie I have not seen. So please tell me more.
well, first of all, it's not a movie; it's like 4 or 5 movies, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think did a new one just come out? Anyways,
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Indiana Jones, portrayed by the wonderful Harrison Ford. Anyways,
Mhm.
in the movies, he like goes all over the world searching for like ancient relics and items, and he winds up going on all these adventures. And the character is very, very, very interesting. And the thing that like sort of magnetizes excitement and interest to him is that he sees in the world these opportunities, that other people don't see. Right? And he
Mhm.
looks at a barren desert and sees a place to explore where certainly treasures must await.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
And of course, the character of Indiana Jones, just like the actor Harrison Ford, fascinating, interesting people who a lot of people want to be around.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, this kind of makes me think about, I think from our first season, we talked about like experiencing the world through childlike eyes. So, like having that curiosity, that wonder. And that's what this makes me think of. Like, if you experience the world through childlike eyes or through wonder and curiosity, then of course everything is going to be interesting for you because you're always discovering something new or like seeing something from a different perspective.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
absolutely.
like this one. It's a good reminder to have curiosity, have the learner's mind.
Have the learner's mind.
Is that a
Yeah,
thing? Learner's mind? I think it is.
sure, whatever. Why not?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
It's all the minds. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go to the next one. Uh, okay, this one. Okay, we can switch gears a little bit with this one.
Mm,
If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. Yeah, that's another one. It's like it's a tough pill to swallow. But really, what it means is if you're not growing, you're probably staying in your comfort zone
yeah.
more than you need to be, right? Especially if you're a coach or an entrepreneur. If you're not facing challenges and disappointments on a somewhat regular basis, at least, probably you're not taking risks or trying new things or attempting to sort of skip rungs on the ladder, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to be an ambitious entrepreneur, you kind of got to do those things. You have to endure the hardships of failure in order to earn, victory.
Yeah. And this one is tough to hear, especially if you're like a perfectionist or if you have a real fear of failing, right? Because it's kind of one of those quotes where you're like, I'm afraid to fail, but I feel like I am trying really hard, but maybe you're not putting the effort in the right areas. That makes sense,
Yep.
right? So I think that's why this one's a hard pill to swallow because some people might be like, but I'm trying really hard, but you're like putting your effort into like making things perfect and maybe being the best, but you're actually not taking risks that are taking you outside of that comfort zone of being perfect.
Yeah.
It
Very
makes you
true.
sweat, right? Next
Got it.
one.
Got it.
This one is kind of the same, in the same vein, I would say. You miss 100% of the swings you don't take.
You miss 100% of the swings you don't take. Oh, I
Like,
broke this up into 2 different quotes, but I think it was originally one longer quote. Anyways, I think the way it was in this document, it was if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough, you miss 100% of the swings you don't take. Anyways, so
mm,
we split it. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, by the way, is a famous quote from Michael Jordan.
yeah.
You miss 100% of the swings you don't take is a very similar quote.
Very similar. Maybe a golfer could
Yeah,
say that.
yeah, or a baseball person. But yeah,
Yes.
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? Yeah,
Yeah. So this
yeah,
is just, kind of in the same vein as that other one. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. Like if you're not taking the shots, if you're not swinging, if you're not taking the action, if you're not sending the emails, making the phone calls, putting that thing out there on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or starting the podcast, then you're failing.
Yeah. Cool. That one's pretty straightforward.
That one's straightforward. Yeah. But this is kind of like what you were talking about today in the social media hub in your Facebook community, your
Yeah.
free Facebook community.
In the free group that I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Social media success hub.
Yes. The social
And
media success hub.
it's a free Facebook group. There's a link to it in my link tree on Instagram, and there's a link to it in my Facebook as well for those that want to check that out.
Yeah. But that's kind of like what you were talking about, where like you get to this place of diminishing returns or something like that, or like you climb the ladder by doing the things and taking action. But some people don't take the action, and so then they don't get what they want, and then they're like, "Why am I not getting what I want?" Because they're not doing the things that they need to be doing, but they feel like they're maybe doing busy work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. You can be keeping busy, but still not being productive. And that's a problem,
Yeah.
especially for a lot of entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
And that happens when you don't, and usually it's at no fault of the entrepreneur or the coach, but there's some really foundational stuff in online entrepreneurship that you need to know, and you need to know how to do it quickly. And there's a lot of people that realize they need to know it and they need to know how to do it, but they don't realize they need to know how to do it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they wind up burning a lot of time on stuff that, yes, needs to be done, but should have been done a lot more quickly. And now you don't have time left over for the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, if you think of a convenience store owner has a nice convenience store on a busy road, and they know they need to sweep the floor once a day to, keep the store looking clean and tidy. But they never learned how to do it quickly, and they spend 4 hours, 5 hours a day sweeping the floor, right?
Yeah.
Which means customer service gets neglected, inventory gets neglected, people are walking out the door without paying for stuff because you're in the back of the store sweeping the floor, right? There's the online equivalent of this is the coach that spends an hour to make one carousel, right?
Yeah.
Or the coach or the entrepreneur that spends 3 hours, fighting with Canva because they haven't, learned how to use Canva or whatever other software, right? Meanwhile, other stuff is getting neglected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like, not being able, like sitting on the fence. If you haven't learned how to make a decision effectively, and you're always sitting on the fence and like humming and hawing, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Then it's the same thing as the floor sweeping, like missing out.
Yeah.
On
I
taking
invested
action.
I invested in how much was it? $6,000 or $7,000 coaching program a couple of years ago. And the first 2 weeks of this coaching program was 100% focused on learning to be more decisive.
Yeah.
The first 2 weeks of a 12-week program was just dealing with being more decisive in business and in life, and because it was so important.
So important. Well, that's the difference, right? Between successful entrepreneurs and those that aren't. They can make decisions quickly.
Cool.
All right.
Sweep the floor fast, people. Get it done. Yeah.
Don't perseverate on what broom to buy. Just buy the broom and sweep the floor.
Yeah. Don't do it with your hands. You do want to get the broom, but once you got it, just get it done. Move on to other things. Okay. Next one here is from Zig. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. There's actually kind of a lot of levels to this quote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, right? There's a lot of people who think they've started, but they haven't. If you got your coaching certification, if you got your hypnotherapy certification, but you haven't started actively inviting people to become your paying clients, you haven't started yet, right? You've learned, but you haven't started being in business yet, right?
Yeah.
That's one very small example. And the other thing that's implied here is you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. What this implies, reading between the lines here, is that when you start, you're not going to be great, most likely, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is kind of like you don't have to get all of your ducks in a row to get started either, right? Like, because there's some people who are worried about, like, oh, I need a website before I can like reach out to people, or I need this thing or that thing before I can do anything. Like, just get started, like, and take one action step, whatever it might be. Like, ask a couple of friends if you can do free coaching with them for a bit in exchange for like a donation, or like there's just so many ways you can just get started. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have your messaging and your niching and, all of the like branding, because this is busy work that people do before they get started.
Yeah. Have you seen that? Have you seen that meme with the ducks? I'll just
No.
show it to you. I'll share my
Okay.
screen. See this? It says the first line in the caption is my ducks are absolutely not in a row. Second line, at this point, I don't even know where my ducks are. And then it says my ducks, and it's a photo of a police car with two ducks sitting in the back seat as if they've been arrested by the police. You never seen this?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah. That's
It's
what I think
funny.
of. That's what I think of when I think of my ducks. Get your ducks in a row.
Yeah. You
And
don't
the
need to
ducks
know
are
where,
looking out the window of the police car at the person taking the picture. It's wonderful.
yeah, you don't need to know where the ducks are, right? You don't need to know the how. That's the whole manifestation thing. It's just like you come up with the idea and you just start taking the action steps one step at a time to get there, but you don't need to know how it's all going to unfold, because it may unfold in a completely different way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like when I was palm reading this summer, I put it out there in a Facebook group and said, I'm going to be in town, I'm going to be doing palm reading. If you're interested, comment below. And I was inundated with comments, and I was like, crap, I don't even know where I'm going to do this palm reading. I don't know, like, I didn't know anything, but it all clicked into place. And then I ended up getting a great room at a gallery, and, it all clicked into place. But had I waited until I had all of those things, I would have probably missed out on the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you don't, like, it's almost better to not have your ducks in a row, because I wouldn't have been able to create what happened. You know what I mean? In the reverse
Yeah.
order.
Yeah. I think we've drilled down into the duck metaphor probably enough for this episode. Maybe, I don't know. Or we could talk more. Which farm did the ducks grow up on? Have you ever heard a duck scream? I have. Like, not, it wasn't scared or upset, just sometimes they just do it.
For fun.
Uh, I don't know maybe it's fun. I don't know. So years ago, I worked as a courier, like an express courier, and I would make like 60, 70, 80, 90 stops in one day. And I had this route that was like a little bit of city, a little bit of suburb, and a little bit of rural. And sometimes I would like deliver to these farms, and they were like way out there, middle of nowhere. And so you drive onto these farm properties, and the animals are just like hanging out. They're not like behind a fence. They're just like there, and they just know not to leave. I don't know how.
Oh,
So I went
there's
to
probably electric fencing, invisible
no.
electric fencing.
Well, for an invisible electric fence to work, the animal has to have a collar on
Oh,
them.
okay.
And so these are ducks. They don't have any collars. They're just like
They're just
don't have
roaming
any permission
around.
to go or whatever. I don't know. And so I got out of the truck to deliver the package to the place. I was just going to leave like whatever it was on the porch. And I hear this screaming, and it sounds like a human person like screaming in desperate terror, right? And
Mm.
it's like I was like, oh my, like I like viscerally reacted to it. Like I was like, oh my god, like something is wrong here. And I like turn and I look, and it's just like a couple of ducks, just totally fine, just sitting there, like just making this scary duck noise.
Weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's interesting.
But they were like clearly not in duress of any kind. It was just like day at the farm.
I just found my lip balm.
Son of a
It's in my
gun.
pocket.
Son of a gun. I wish I would find my lip balm in my pocket.
I'm going to put it on.
Anyways, listeners, if you've heard a duck scream the way I'm describing, please send me a message and
Yeah, I
let me
want to
know.
look that up, actually. Why are they doing that? I wonder if they thought you were going to hurt them. Like you're like a predator coming in delivering this package. And so
I
they were,
don't think so because they made no effort to move away.
mm,
Yeah. Anyways,
cool.
I saw a lot of really interesting things during my
I'm sure.
time as an express courier.
I'm sure you saw many interesting things.
Many interesting things. Okay.
Next
What were we
one.
doing? Podcast? We still doing that? All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
still doing the podcast.
Podcast. Right. Recording. Yes. Okay. Coaching.
Season 4, the
Hmm?
list season. I don't think we mentioned that, but this season is all lists.
Season 4.
Yeah.
We got a list of episodes coming
Yeah.
up. Each episode featuring a list. I got a list of duck-related stories and metaphors to share with the audience. I'm gonna parse them out over the course of this season. Lists.
That's like the Easter egg of every episode. They have to find the duck metaphor.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the mention of duck or the allusion to ducks. Yeah. Okay, you miss 100% of the swings you don't take. Is that so we don't have to pay royalties to MJ?
Maybe.
We changed it to
I don't
swing.
know. I just wrote that out. I didn't take that from anything. That came from my head. But I guess it's shots, not swings.
Yeah, it's shots, and it came from Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 23.
Yeah. Good old Michael Jordan. We love
I
him.
think it's 23. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah?
100%. Yeah.
OP.
Yeah.
And then Zig. Okay, we got that one. We got 3 more. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions.
I like
Okay.
this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like there's like so much out there about, happiness or something, or like being happy. And like it's not like happiness is not a destination. And I feel like, I don't know, Insta world creates that illusion that happiness is this place that we find, but it's not. Like you could be happy right now. It's just an emotion.
Yeah.
Right? You're not getting to happiness.
Yeah. Agreed.
So that's what it means. Like it's not ready made. Like it's not a place you get to. It comes from your own action. So you create it.
Yeah. Actions and decisions, right? Your decisions.
Totally, yeah. It's kind of like you're not bored, you're boring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have to choose happiness.
Yeah.
Right? You have to figure out what your terms are for happiness and make the decisions and take the actions to create that.
Yeah.
In your
life. I
life.
will say that is also kind of demotivating because it's not easy. Like you can't just be like, we'll just choose to be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you're not in the right mindset.
Yeah.
Like we understand it. Like if you were to say to me,
because we're smarter and better.
I'm not saying
than everyone else. We understand it, Alana and Ryan. Is that what you're saying? Oh, she's turning red, everybody.
I know. No, I don't mean it in that way at all. I'm not saying that we're better. I'm just saying we're coaches who are well informed and trained and have like training behind us to be at this place where we understand this quote. But someone who is not there yet, someone who is maybe unhappy and hasn't had any coaching experience, might hear this quote and be kind of offended or just like, what do you mean create my own happiness? Like, I can't just do that. It's not easy.
Yeah. I mean, this one's big. This one kind of, there's a whole lot implied here in order for this one to make sense, and that's includes fairly heavy subject matter, like taking radical responsibility for everything that you're allowing to exist in your life right now, which is by no means easy, especially, when you're starting out on a personal development journey. But at the end of the day, those who accept this, happiness is not something that will be issued to you. It is something that you need to earn, for lack of a better term, or in some cases fight for, or in some cases do all the internal work such that it does manifest easily in your reality, which again is still not necessarily easy in general terms, but understanding this is a good first step.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because I'm specifically thinking the reason I'm saying this is because I was watching something on YouTube. Is it Dr. Mike or something like that? He's like a YouTuber. He's like a young doctor. I don't know if his name is Dr. Mike. Anyway, it was an interview with him on a podcast, and he was talking about how this is like um, not a helpful quote, not this one specifically, but it was similar because there's people out there who quote unquote are happy because they're rich and like they have a yacht and they have, like parties and live a life of luxury, but they're actually really unhappy. And so like they may have created what we think is happiness, but inside they could be, completely broken.
Yeah, they could be.
And they
Cool.
haven't like and the external, I think basically what it was all about was like happiness is not an external job, it's an internal job. So you can have all the things that we think make us happy, like the cool cars, the yachts, the like hot partners, the all the things, but you can still be really unhappy if you haven't done any internal work.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not what
Cool.
this episode is about.
Real downer there. The second last quote.
um,
No,
no,
man.
I have a lot of compassion for people who are maybe not ready to hear something like that. That's all.
I know. I know what you're saying. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Next one
Moving right along.
is the last one. Here's a source we can all trust. Dolly Parton.
Oh man, I love her.
I like Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's done some cool stuff.
She's so cool. Honestly.
She's helped a lot of really young people get into reading and have
Yeah.
access to learning resources they wouldn't otherwise have, I believe.
Yeah.
She has
And
her own she has her own amusement park too.
she has her own amusement park and she's had to live through so much adversity and like so many negative comments and just like, people not being very kind to her, but she is a powerhouse woman. When I think of like, a successful businesswoman, Dolly Parton, I don't feel like she's given enough credit.
I'm just looking at the website here for Dollywood. Her
Yeah.
looks pretty great.
Yeah, I want to go there. Where is it?
Is it in Tennessee? Let me check.
Road trip.
Yeah, no excuses road trip.
Yeah.
Where is this place? Dollywood. Plan your visit. Yeah. I just want the address or the state. It's like maybe it's such common knowledge
Is
that
it
like,
Nashville?
I don't even have it on the website. It is Tennessee. Okay, I found the address. It's in a town or a city called Pigeon Forge
Mm.
in Tennessee. Okay, hey, stand by, listeners. I'm going to look up where's Dollywood. Maybe we'll have our first ever No Excuses coaching podcast retreat at Dollywood in Tennessee. Let's see here. Okay, I found the town that it's in. Yeah, it's pretty close to Knoxville. Pretty close to Knoxville, Tennessee. It's
Cool.
certainly not in or part of Knoxville.
So it's like out of town.
Yeah, it's out of town. I'm guessing the closest airport is Knoxville. It's an hour drive. It's an hour drive from Knoxville.
Okay.
All right.
Doable.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone been to Dollywood? Let us know at our Instagram at
They
It's
got
the No Excuses podcast.
they got a steam train. They got an old mill.
Is it like roller coasters and stuff or?
I don't know. It's definitely like an amusement resort place.
I would love to read Dolly's poem.
Yeah. I think it's like a family thing. It's kind of got like Great Wolf Lodge vibes, but like on a much larger scale.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Anyway, her quote is life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Did you add that?
did I add that? No.
Because that wasn't the original quote. The original quote is just if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
Oh. Well, there was no quote to end here and start here. So
That was just my bad texting
I
in the
assume
notes.
mistake. Oh, okay. So the quote from Dolly is if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much like kind of what was implied by some of these other quotes, right? Like if you're not failing, you're probably not moving towards success.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. So true. And then there was one more. This, I guess, can be bonus.
Bonus quote.
Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself, which I also love because everyone wants to know what their purpose is, right? Like, especially when people come to me to read, when I read poems, that's something that people want to know. Like, what's my purpose? Or like, what
Yeah.
am I meant to do? And I don't think that we're meant to look for our purpose. We need to become the person who is living out the purpose,
Yeah.
which is really creating, like, who do you want to be?
Yeah.
And in that creation, you will find what you want to do and who you want to be. Right?
I don't know.
Because it's like, okay, if I were to say to you right now, Ryan, your purpose is X, then wouldn't your life be over?
No. Would it?
Then,
Like if and you were accurate, if you were like, Ryan, your purpose is teaching social media to hypnotists, and it was perfectly accurate, would my life be over? Would I be like, okay, I'm done? And
well, I
like my
guess, yeah,
body
I
would
guess
just
that's like a
dissolve
shortcut.
in the mist and I would disappear?
No, but isn't the fun part like figuring out what your purpose is and be like creating all of these little things to figure it out? Or maybe you want the shortcut. I don't know.
I think it's subjective. I think it's a matter of perspective. Maybe that's great for some people. Maybe some people don't care
Mhm.
about purpose. Maybe
But
they
is
just
your
want to
purpose
enjoy.
one thing? There's another question. Or is it ever evolving?
This is outside of the scope of this episode. I'll have you know, Alana Banks, your deep philosophical thoughts and tangents. However, since you asked the question,
Yeah,
uh, probably it's more than one thing. Because like my purpose even a year ago is different than my purpose now.
exactly.
Yeah, it's dynamic, ever
It's
changing.
dynamic. There is no one purpose. It's ever evolving. It's I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But there's like I feel like there's like an overarching purpose.
Okay.
And then there's like the ever evolving journey to that purpose,
Yeah.
right?
It's the overarching purpose, the meta purpose,
Yeah.
and then there's chunk down individual
Yeah.
porpoises for during the life. All right. I'm down with that. That's cool.
Cool.
Cool. All right. And on
Well, that's
that,
it. Those are the
rather deep
quotes.
and profound uh, can of worms, we're done the quotes. This is the first episode of the list season, the first
Mhm.
in a list of episodes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
What will come next? We don't know.
You know what? Just on my screen over here popped up another list
Oh,
from
what is it?
Facebook,
Is this a
posted
teaser for next week, maybe?
posted by my friend Carissa Marie Bowman. No, it's a meme. It's like
Oh,
it's a
no.
photograph of a brick wall, like a white brick wall, and somebody's written on it with marker. It's a list, and the title of the list is "Things I Hate."
Oh, I love it already.
Number one on the list. Remember, this is with a black marker on a wall. Number one on the list is vandalism.
Okay.
Number two on the list is lists. Number three on the list is irony. You get it? Number four on the list is lists again. Number five on the list is repetition. Get it?
Yeah.
And number number F on the list. So it's one, two, three, four, five, F. And then it's inconsistency
Mm.
because the numbering system that they're following is
Yeah.
inconsistent. So I've mentioned two memes on the podcast today. If you want to see these with your peepers, shoot me a message with the word memes, and I will send you the duck meme and I will send you the list meme. I'm even going to screenshot the list and put it on my desktop before it disappears in case
Good
anybody
idea. Because you might
Well,
be like, what? Why are these
yeah, if
people?
you're having a hard time visualizing what I'm describing, which fair enough, shoot me a message. Okay, so I've got a free Facebook group for people that want to hit the ground and start moving on having an easier time on social media. I've got the very affordable Simple Social Sanctuary membership for people who are more serious about taking action on social media. Join one or both today. Shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook if you want to chat. That's all I got. Alana Banks is reading palms. I recommend you get your palm read by Alana Banks very soon, before her celebrity list of clients really explodes and she's just unreachable.
That would be amazing. And I'm
Yeah,
reading Dolly Parton's palm.
exactly.
Um, yeah, book in with me for a palm reading. You can reach me at my Instagram at Alana Banks Coaching. I've also started a community of people. It's called the Ascension Circle. It's a bi-weekly group where we basically I just help answer questions and coach you around expanding your business, overcoming fears, whatever that might be. You can find out more information about that on my Instagram too, at Alana Banks Coaching. Yeah. And that's it. It's also very affordable. So
Cool.
come and join us.
Yeah, check it out. Cool. All right, that's it for this one.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.